Hello and welcome again. This is Robert Schein, Managing Director and Partner of Blanke Schein Wealth Management. Today we're going to talk about our Friday Insights edition, ultimately the wealth tax. You might have seen this in the news lately. Ultimately, Elizabeth Warren and Bernie Sanders are the senators that are out there, again, continuing what their campaign promises were when they were presidential candidates to ultimately where they are in the Senate right now. And since the House and the Senate are ultimately in a thin margin but closely at least controlled right now by Democrats, there's a small window of opportunity from 2020 to 2022 for legislation to pass to ultimately get this wealth tax through. Ultimately, who are they targeting? Well, on surface, they're saying, and they're going after the billionaires. So I guess 50 million or higher. They want audits on everyone's IRS taxes, and they ultimately want a penalty if you decide to move out of the country. All these little different ways of going about getting their fair share and ultimately bringing in $100 billion to the U.S. Treasury. And those dollars are going to work their way into schools and governments that ultimately have had some suffering because of coronavirus. Now is their timing. There's a window of opportunity. But ultimately, I'm sitting in front of my most recent update, what I did this last Tuesday, which is talking about the fourth quarter earnings, the U.S. economy and the S&P 500 would actually 2020 eked out a 4.2% year-over-year earnings increase for corporations. So corporations made money last year, even in the midst of the coronavirus. We also saw that right now the stimulus that we're seeing proposed by Congress, as well as what we saw last year combined 2020, 2021, if you take what the Federal Reserve has done as well as what fiscal and monetary policy combined together, that equals 55% of the US GDP. Why is this relevant? Why do we even bring that to the forefront? This is an overstimulated economy. You're going to see markets grind their way higher. You're going to see asset prices go higher. Interest rates are going to be low for longer, according to the Federal Reserve. See if they can actually hold that line right there as they try to keep the 10-year Treasury in line, if you will. But what's happening is you're going to have stock prices go up. You're going to have asset prices from commodities that we've already seen that risen. We're going to see real estate continue to soar, and all the other places to put your money, from obviously gold, silver, and even Bitcoin and all that. That's not by accident. It's happening because of the stimulus, the overstimulus. Now, why does Congress want to overstimulate the economy? You have to ask yourself this question. Because if we get past the coronavirus, if you will, and we get the market, or we get the U.S. economy open again, and once we get all of that in the back end of 2021, you're going to have now a healthier economy, an economy that can stand on its own 2 feet. That's when Warren and Sanders have some legitimacy as to raising corporate taxes, raising personal taxes. We believe at Blanke Schein Wealth Management, we're going to see the back half of this year be very strong in the U.S. economy. That's going to be that backstop or that window of opportunity for Congress to actually the Democrats to thread the needle and go for increasing taxes. Now, keep this in mind. When they go to increase taxes, it's not just on the wealthy. It's on middle America. So there's going to be a spectrum of increasing taxes. The wealth tax will make its way into the unintended consequences. How do we get out of it, Rob? What do we do to protect ourselves? We work very closely with your tax advisor here at Blanke Schein Wealth Management, both on the short and long term, and we create smart tax strategies. We here manage our portfolios in a tax efficient manner. So we're always keeping in mind both current tax law and future tax law in everything we do, from portfolio management, investment management, all of our planning and strategy in terms of your retirement planning, as well as long into the future. One thing we know for certain is death and taxes, right? But that will continue to be the case, even more so on the horizon. We can look back to this later this year, back to this broadcast about the wealth tax, and see how far off I was, plus or minus. I don't think we're going to be that far off. Now, what are the probabilities of wealth tax passing? Well, there's sort of some Democrats in the Senate, like Joe Manchin from West Virginia, that are on the margin. So the conservatives, sort of fiscally conservative speaking, Democrats could sort of hold the line, and there could be some sort of form of negotiations that goes into play. But I think right now, 2022 is that line in the sand where Democrats really feel that this is their window of opportunity to get their policy out to increase taxes, regardless of what form or shape that takes going forward. We shall see, but stay close to us here at Blanke Schein Wealth Management and your tax professionals, because we will work together to navigate our ways through this. So thanks for watching our Friday update. Take care, have a great weekend, and stay healthy and safe.